This is Michael Moore, and this is my podcast. Welcome, everyone. I want to begin today's podcast by playing a clip from Ayman Mohyeddin's weekend show that airs on MSNBC. And this past weekend, he spoke of an American woman who was shot dead by the Israeli army, peacefully protesting in support of Palestinian rights in the West Bank. We talk a lot about Gaza. We don't talk a lot about the kind of death and destruction that's taking place in the West Bank. And Ayman chose to do that these last couple of nights. And I want to play this for you, and I want to talk about, just for a few minutes, what do we do with the fact that this war that we are funding and we are arming has expanded now deep into the West Bank, more Palestinians and now even some Americans losing their lives and killed by the bullets that you and I send them. Take it away, Ayman.
This is an old photo of a 26-year-old American named Aisha Azgi. She lived in Seattle. And this is footage of her on Friday, her dead body being wheeled in a hospital in the occupied West Bank town of Nablus. According to witnesses and local media reports, the Israeli military shot her in the head while she was taking part in a protest against illegal Israeli settlements in the town of Beita. Last night, I spoke to her friend, Juliet Majid, who shared her memories of Aisha Noor.
We lost an American who was a staunch human rights activist, an American who wanted the best for our communities, marginalized here and abroad, who stood in solidarity with many different groups and organized in many different ways to ensure that all marginalized people could be liberated. And that's who I want to talk about, the person she was, the beautiful human, and who we lost.
And for their part, the Israeli military said that they were looking into reports that a foreign national was killed as a result of shots fired in the area. But the death of this American comes at a time when Israel has massively expanded its onslaught of the West Bank. This is the town of Jenin. While it looks like footage from Gaza, it is not. It is in the West Bank. And this is footage captured by an Israeli journalist showing Israeli soldiers lining up detained Palestinian children, women, and men in Jenin. Again, in the West Bank, not Gaza. NBC News has reached out to the Israeli military for comment and has yet not heard back. Now, back home, several U.S. government officials have condemned the death of Aisha Noor Azgi, including State Department spokesman Matthew Miller, who said, "We offer our deepest condolences to her family and loved ones. We are urgently gathering more information about the circumstances of her death, and we will have more to say as we learn more. We have no higher priority than the safety and security of American citizens." But is that really the case? How many more American citizens need to get killed by the Israeli military before the U.S. government begins defending American life? What about the safety and security of Jacob Flickinger, a dual U.S.-Canadian citizen who was among the 7 World Central Kitchen aid workers killed by Israel in April? What about Shireen Abu Akleh, the American journalist killed by Israel in 2022 and who, without cooperation from the Israeli government, the FBI has been stonewalled in their so-called investigation of her killing? What about Rachel Corrie, the American peace activist who was killed by the Israeli military while protesting the demolition of Palestinian homes in Gaza all the way back in 2003, and whose parents still haven't received any justice? And this list goes on. The safety and security of these Americans has not been the highest priority of the U.S. government. Otherwise, this wouldn't be allowed to keep happening with impunity. And it is that impunity that allows for scenes like this to happen. This is Benjamin Netanyahu this week. And contrary to the wishes of the hundreds of thousands of Israeli protesters who took to the streets on Sunday to accuse Netanyahu of abandoning hostages held in Gaza by Hamas and by sabotaging every ceasefire and hostage deal, Netanyahu took the stage to promise more war. But take a look at this map. The West Bank, home to more than 3 million Palestinians, has been erased. When asked by Sky News whether it's his official policy that the West Bank does not exist, Netanyahu denied it. But this is not the first time Netanyahu has publicly displayed a map erasing the West Bank. Here he is holding his map of what he called the new Middle East back in September of 2023, weeks before October 7th. And this isn't some new revelation. The founding charter of Netanyahu's very own Likud party in 1977 explicitly calls for Israeli control from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. Netanyahu has been playing the long game. And it's important to understand that it's not just one rogue leader who constantly expresses a desire to erase Palestinians. Take a listen to this clip that went viral this week from a popular Israeli podcast.
If you gave me a button to just erase Gaza, every single living being in Gaza would no longer be living tomorrow, I would press it in a second. That's just, I think most Israelis
If
probably
that's
agree.
the choice, yeah.
Yeah. I would press it right now. Give me that button and press it right now.
There you go.
And I think most Israelis would.
Yeah. Most Jewish
They wouldn't.
Israelis.
They wouldn't post. They wouldn't talk about it like I am.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't post. They wouldn't say I pressed it.
Yeah.
But they would.
They
press
don't
it.
have balls of steel like you.
They would, but they would press it. Right? Like if they were in a
Yeah.
closet alone, they wouldn't even hesitate.
Now, this clip caused an uproar after it went viral this week, so the two hosts posted on X that it was taken out of context. However, the X post basically doubled down on the message of the podcast clip, saying we were making a larger point about the fact that most Jewish Israelis do not care about the cost and civilian casualties on the Palestinian side required in order to secure the Jewish homeland, and adding polling data to back it up. And speaking of polling, a study out from Pew Research in August found that 59% of Israelis believe that people should not be able to make posts on social media expressing sympathy for civilians in Gaza. It's time to wake up to the reality of what Benjamin Netanyahu's intentions are. Intentions that, despite some Israeli dissent on tactics and hostage negotiations, a large portion of Israeli society supports. If Israel knows it can keep getting away with killing American citizens like Aisha Azgi with no consequences after all it's gotten away with in Gaza, then it's not hard to imagine what he plans to do with the West Bank one day, unless the country funding it actually does something to stop it.
So there you go. This is what it's led to. 11 months into this, hundreds of people have lost their lives due to violence perpetrated upon them by the settlers. And, again, we're the ones funding this. We're the bank. We're the arms dealer. And we can't just turn our heads and pretend this isn't happening. This is being done in our name with our money. And if you don't like that, and I certainly don't like it, then we have to say something. We have to let the Biden administration know that we do not support this kind of death and destruction. And we certainly don't support widening the war so that it encompasses all of Palestine. From the river to the sea, we will eliminate the Palestinian people. That's the policy of the Likud party. That's Benjamin Netanyahu. We've already seen an official body count of over 40,000 Palestinians killed by the Israeli army, almost 17,000 of them children. And virtually every human rights worker saying those numbers are low. I don't know. It doesn't make me feel good. And I know we have an important job to do to stop Trump, to get Harris in the White House, all of that. But for us to remain silent, where's your conscience? You can't just say, oh, Mike, no, we've got bigger priorities. What's a bigger priority than not killing babies and children in our name? I'm very appreciative of Eamon, everything he does. You get this rare news of what's going on in Israel and Palestine when you watch his show on Saturday and Sunday nights. So, it's up to us, folks. You know it. I know it. We can't let it go on like this. And I personally won't. I will do what I can do. We're going to just take a quick break right here to thank the underwriter of tonight's show, our longtime supporter of this podcast, Shopify. If you've got an idea to start your own online shop or even a brick and mortar store, or if you're interested in growing the one you've got, check out Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and it's called Shop Pay. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and more sales go through. So, if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever customers are scrolling and strolling, whether it's on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. It's no secret that businesses that want to grow with Shopify. So upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Untuckit, Momofuku, Heinz, Mattel, and Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/rumble. And don't forget to put rumble all in lowercase. Go to shopify.com/rumble to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/rumble. Rumble all in lowercase. And thank you, Shopify, for supporting this podcast and for supporting my voice. All right, we're back. I want to close tonight by talking about the debate that's happening this Tuesday night between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And, what I want to encourage you to do is, after we suffer through that last debate on June 27th, none of us want to put ourselves through that misery again. So I think it's a good idea to attend a watch party. There's hundreds of them happening all over the country. People are hosting watch parties for the debate. You could host one yourself. You could just call 3 or 4 or 5 friends over. Say, let's watch this together. It's a much better way to handle this because we don't really know how it's going to go. So think about that. Think about putting together your own watch party this Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the debate. Or find one in your area. I put a link on my podcast site here. Just click on the link and find out where they are, or contact your local Democrats. The important thing is, I think, not to watch this alone, to do it in community, in commune with other people, like-minded people who care about this planet and the people who inhabit it. Don't sit there on the floor like Glenn Close in that movie where you're just clicking the lamp on and off, going crazy. Go to one of the watch parties. You might meet the love of your life. Who knows? Let's do what we need to do. Let's let the Biden administration know that we do not support this war on the Palestinian people. And let's let them know that we expect to win. And that's what we're going to do between now and November 5th. Every day I'm posting just about every day, a daily action, your daily action. Little small things you could do to help get out the vote and to win on November 5th. So check that out. I think you're going to like that. And I'll come back and talk to you here in the near future about what's going on. We can do this, my friends. Believe me, we can do it. Don't let them stop you, slow you down. If they are doing that, they have an ulterior motive. Of course, the result's going to be a very depressed vote for the Democratic side. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want it to happen. I'm going to do my best to make it not happen. You need to join me and do that with me. We have to. We don't have a choice right now. Thanks for listening to my podcast today. Thanks to my executive producer, Angela Vargos, to David Shankula, to Basil Hampton, to all the people who have been a big help to me here. And now let's do the job that needs to be done. Take care and talk to you soon.